Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday Rumble number 13. Unlucky 13. We are in match B in a very weird spawn position for basically both teams. But let's quickly go over the teams. We've got the Art of War with, this is Goldfinger, captained by Metzger Horst. It's got a Carronade Fish with Mortar Gat. We've got the Lexicon Captain Red Prototype. I've got double Flak, double Carronade on the Regal Kesprit, Regal Skepet. Ooh, there's a big mine hit that goes off in the meantime. Let's continue this ship rundown real quick. We got what is this? We got double. I got Gat Mortar side, double Artemis on the other side with a mine launcher up front. That's a very interesting front mine launcher as the Goldfinger goes down for the first kill. He got caught in a very bad spawn position, and both of these Bully Boy ships took full advantage of that. And of course, the final ship here is the Valor Morgulis, captained by Sir Deathwager, and that is a flak front with field gun and double mine launcher. So lots of mine launchers. We've seen this quite a lot from Bully Boys all the time. And then the Lexicon probably should not have continued to come in here after his teammate was dead, but he is in fact around swinging to try to hit the Valor, as the Spire is still one of the more delicate ships in the game, but all sorts of fire going off on Lexicon. And Valor did take a lot of damage. His balloon is down. Armor almost went down, but it is the Lexicon who's taking the full front damage of the Regal Skepet. Of course, that Gat Mortar was recently more or less nerfed. Not as effective as it once was, so just because you can get that brawly side turned onto a ship does not mean you just win automatically like you once used to. And as we can see, the Lexicon doing a great job of staying alive here, and the Goldfinger has come back in, is just riding the Valor into the ground, and that Carronade taking out the giant balloon of the Spire, driving it into the ground, and MVP so far goes to Terrain for the Art of War. Now the Regal Skepet trying its best to take down the Lexicon, but as you can see, it's just not doing nearly enough, and the teams are going to have to slowly adjust to this. That Gat Mortar combo is just not going to have the same firepower as it once used to. Lexicon did get his nice shot by the Valor, coming in with that heavy flak, taking out the final few hit points left on the Lexicon, and we've got a 2-1 lead for the blue team. Goldfinger got out of there quickly. Good job by them not staying in there, not getting themselves caught in another 2v1 situation. You don't want to see that, but that long-range shooting coming in from Valor. Heavy flaks, I believe, they're definitely coming back into style a little bit. Even if you don't have the hull armor down of your enemy ship, it still ends up doing quite a lot of damage, and it's actually made Spires like this one become a lot more popular. You stick Carronade, this is a Artemis. I've seen a lot of, it's not an Artemis, it's a Mercury. What I was going to say is I've seen a lot of Artemises also put up front on Spires for a little bit of disabling, as well as that armor stripping going on. Alright, Goldfinger bouncing around a little bit here. Lexicon opting to go all the way around on the side here. And we'll see if the Goldfinger follows behind him. Currently is not going to be spotted. Is moving with this cloud. Now, will they spot the Goldfinger going through here? They must have caught maybe a little bit of the fin, but then again, I think this cloud here was catching the BFS team, Bully Boys team, sorry, because it is the Bully Boys. Well, in this case, it's BFS, but they did sign up as Bully Boys. Oftentimes, they will have Haven members, and that's when they like to call themselves the Bully Boys, but I'm not entirely sure if they caught the fact that the Art of War were going around on the side over here. Now, the Regal Skepet getting spotted has to tip him off, and of course, getting a spot down on the Lexicon tips him off even more, and that minefield that's sitting out there is not going to do him any good. So we'll see if there's any mines that get tossed out to block the approach of the Art of War teams, as they do want to get in real close, especially this Goldfish with that heavy carronade already firing off on the Regal Skepet. Of course, the range of that heavy carronade was also changed recently, but they have managed to get in close enough to where they have knocked out the balloon of the Regal Skepet, and Regal Skepet is going downwards, but the Lexicon taking a lot of damage. Goldfinger also taking a lot of damage, and will that... Yes, that flak shot does hit Regal Skepet, almost dead. Goldfinger barely manages to get his armor up, down once again. One more flak shot would have finished him off. Regal Skepet, I think, was bouncing around on debris over there, taking a lot of damage. And now the two Art of War teams are going to focus in on that spire, knowing how dangerous it is. The Lexicon shooting off. Looks like they're using their heavy flak side. Maybe I would like to see them turn to that double carronade side. In the meantime, the Goldfinger is bouncing around down here. In comes mines, but one direct hit from a mine will actually not do a whole lot. You have to get those armed and set and have somebody run into it. Now the Regal Skepet's got to be the one that's real careful. Oh no, the Goldfinger's going to back up into more mines, and wow, what a great set of circumstances there for the Bully Boy teams using those mines. So great effectiveness. One knocked them into another, and or at least it stopped its momentum and backed up basically into more Valor Morgulus here, of course, trying to fight back and keep the Lexicon off it. Doing a fairly decent job, but its armor goes down. Is it going to be one more flak shot? No, that flak shot missed, and that may have been the killing blow that it would have needed, but instead, the Lexicon is the one that, well, actually, it's doing okay. It's lost a little bit of hull help, but nothing too great, and it takes the Valor down. In the meantime, the Goldfinger has come into the side over here, but gets turned around. I'm not entirely sure why, but the Regal is going to be feeling a lot of carronade pain here, as 3 carronades are going to be hitting it at once with the Lexicon and the Goldfinger, but it's going to sneak right under the Lexicon here, doing a fantastic job at that. And in the meantime, the Valor got a great spawn and has gotten right back into this fight, but the Regal Skepet's still hurting so badly. Let's see if the Valor can turn the tide of this battle and keep the Regal Skepet from taking catastrophic damage, but cannot do it as the Goldfinger keeps on the Skepet. And now this Spire is sitting here by itself versus some long-range shots coming in from those flaks, hitting quite nicely. And the Goldfinger, well, is he going to sit back here? Maybe. It looks like that carronade is still reaching, but he will have to be very careful about those mines that are getting thrown out. Can do quite a lot of damage, as we saw earlier. Now, where exactly? Okay, the Regal Skepet is coming up from the side over here, trying to meet up with the Valor, and it looks like he will manage to accomplish that. The Goldfinger trying to get on top of the Spire here, and that's a great job of doing that, of getting on right on top of it, not letting it get up at all. And it's, I think the Valor is going to bump into, yep, he bumped into this, I don't know, piston thing over here and lost his balloon afterwards to some more carronading. Regal Skepet, I'm not in, yeah, I guess they are going to go after the Goldfinger. I thought they might have plans for the Lexicon instead, but the Goldfinger looks like it is going to be their target. Now the Valor once again losing balloon to that carronade. Are they going to be able to take the Valor out here and take a 4-3 lead, or will the Regal Skepet come out ahead and take out the Goldfinger? Goldfinger doing a good job of backing up, but might be backing up a little bit too far, getting it out of that carronading range, and that's going to leave the Lexicon to finish off the Valor, which they can definitely do, especially when that armor is down, but that flak shot misses. Regal Skepet trying to do as much as it can versus the Goldfinger, but That Gatling, as a cloud spawns right on top of this entire battle, and the Valor is gonna go down as those shots come raining in, and you see those fireworks from Guns of Icarus Muse first birthday event that's still going on until I think November 5th, I want to say. Which is what? Next Tuesday. We'll see when these VODs go up, but yeah, that's why you're seeing those explosions coming up, and now the Regal Skipet is in so deep trouble as both of these ships, oh no, and it's pinned against debris now as well, and those shots are just going to come raining on in, and great job by the Art of War of coming back in that game and taking it 5-3. We will be back. It's just, of course, a best of 3. We'll be back with match number 2 soon. Hello everyone, once more. This is the Sunday Rumble number 13. We are in match B. This is the Art of War versus the Bully Boys, with Art of War being up 1-0. We've got the Whoop Whoop on the Art of War side. It's got a Hades mortar front with a carronade flamethrower side. On the Codex, another Pyramidion, we've got double carronades front and Gat mortar side. On the Bully Boys team on the Regal Skepet, once again, we've got double Mercury one side, although I think it was Artemis last time, but double Mercury this time. Gat mortar side with a mine launcher front, and on the Valar Morghulis, we've got once again a heavy flak with mine launcher, Mercury, and mine launcher. So double mine launcher for the Valor once more. I think really the only change for them was the Regal Skepet now having double Mercuries. Of course, the Art of War completely changed everything. Both ship use and guns, of course. Now, what it's interesting to note is that the Codex with that double carronade front, and I've seen that double carronade front before, but it's funny to me that because you have this Gat mortar side, which this is like a reverse Pyramidion. It used to be that you might stick double carronades on your side. You know, it might not have been the best combo for your side guns, but I would see that, and with the Gat mortar up front. But now with the Gat mortar, that power of it being reduced, yeah, I could definitely see that working on that side instead. You don't usually use most of the side guns on a Pyramidion as it is, but I also want to note that the Hades has gotten a little bit of a buff, so it should be interesting to see how this long-range piercing of the Hades will interact with the short range that mortars usually are. Now, the Art of War is actually going all the way around the back, and a lot of people don't know that you can do this, and this is probably going to catch the Bully Boys way out of position. As you can see, they're all the way over here. Now, I think by now they should have spotted them, because if you're not looking behind, I mean, maybe you just don't look behind you, but okay, there you go. There's some spots going down on both teams, so the Bully Boys are aware that this back attack, there was no, you know, there's this, I think this cloud moving across right here, as you can see it. If the Art of War had known that this happens and waited for that, this would have been a lot more effective. But instead, it's the Codex already taking so much damage. As you can tell, that heavy flak is going to do a lot of pain and suffering, and Codex feeling the brunt of that. And he can't really do anything with that double carronade up front, being this far out, and Valor is absolutely wrecking this. Whoop Whoop trying to cover for his teammate, and it looks like Valor may be switching, but not quite. They're still trying to get the Art of War down. The Codex down. They're both Art of War, of course. Codex managing to slip around the side over here, so now it's going to be the Whoop Whoop that comes out up front. A lot of that Hades so far has been missing, and careful, Valor, you're going to back up into this rock. That's not good for you. Yep, bounces just a little bit, but thankfully didn't hit it straight on, so its momentum isn't completely stopped. The Whoop Whoop shooting its front guns, but I mean, this is not gonna do well. The mine hit goes off as well, and the Whoop Whoop is gonna be in a load of trouble here as more mines go off. Absolutely catastrophic mine hits for the Whoop Whoop. More mines. Oh my god, that is just mine central right there, and the Whoop Whoop gets absolutely smashed. Now the Codex coming in as well. Are they going to be able to do anything? The Regal Skepet is going to be bounced down into the ground, so this might actually work out for the Codex, but they go too far. The Codex goes way too far ahead, and now their front guns are not turned the right way, and it's going to take forever for them to turn around. And in the meantime, the Valor is going to be able to come in. The Codex gets a fairly decent, or sorry, the Whoop Whoop gets a fairly decent spawn, as the Regal Skepet actually runs into his own teammates' mines, and the Valor is now getting double carried by the Codex. So, oh my god, the Codex just totally turned this around as the Regal Skepet ran into a friendly mines, and the gave enough time for the Codex to get up in here, use that double carrying on that Spire, which is still, even though it has been switched around a bit, components are in a little bit easier places, and has more hull health. Once it gets rated into the ground like that, with that double carrying, it's just going to do so much. So the Bully Boys almost was able to start out incredibly well in this match, but instead they end up just trading ships. Now they do still have a hull health lead, the Codex still having taken quite a lot of damage. They will not be able to survive for too long. And are they going to hit those mines? I should hope not. That's easy enough to avoid right out in the open. Now the Whoop Whoop losing half its armor, but getting that repaired, and those flak shots in this case are just not hitting, but neither are those Hades shots. Hades, a lot of people haven't quite figured out how exactly to shoot that effectively. I've seen probably more missing with the Hades than I've seen hits, quite honestly. Codex running on in here, that might be a lot of trouble for them. Whoop Whoop takes some mine hits there. Regal Skepet bouncing down into the ground from the double carronade, and the Codex is just going to work with those carronades on both of these ships. Hopefully Valor can get its balloon back up. Regal Skepet trying to survive as well, but the Codex is going to come on in here. Ooh, nice mine hit on the Codex, turning their arc all the way around, but the Whoop Whoop gonna come charging in, and the Valor is probably not going to be able to ride this. Valor goes down once more. Great job by the Whoop Whoop covering from his teammates, who had mine hit just completely knock his arc out for a 2-1 Art of War lead. And now Valor, which side? Oh, there he is. He is in clear shot of all of these ships. That's a fairly good spawn for him. Doesn't have anywhere to go, quite far away, so it can just start firing off. Doesn't quite have that angle on the Whoop Whoop yet, and he is just going to shoot at the Codex. Just not a bad idea. Codex has taken a lot of damage already, and any flak shot here will do as a Regal. In the meantime, takes out the Whoop Whoop. Will the Codex go down as well? All of his engines are out as he was moonshining forward, trying to get over to the Valor, but that is just way too much ground to make up. And there goes the Codex, and the Bully Boys turn this one around for a 2-1 lead in their favor. Whoop Whoop spawned fairly close, but of course first of all, was just not going to be able to make it back in time at all, and wouldn't have been a good idea either. But both Codex and Whoop Whoop get a forward spawn, so they will be here a lot more quick. A lot more quick. That's not English. That's gibberish. A lot quicker, I guess is what I wanted to say. Now, it's an interesting spot that the Bully Boys are set up in here. I have used this spot around here personally a couple of times with Flax, with Lumberjacks. Being all the way back in this corner allows you to, of course, notice any sort of approach from either of these sides, and it is really only this cloud that goes by here that can allow any sort of close range engagement. So we'll see how the Art of War, the Codex, and the Whoop Whoop will approach this, if they're gonna come on in, or if they're going to hang back here. Now I think some spots could in theory be going down, as the Whoop Whoop has already been spotted, and in this case it's the Bully Boys are gonna have the advantage as that long range of that flak is going to be able to shoot on in. I'm not entirely sure how much they're going to be able to accomplish. Of course, the rig will skip it. Also, I forgot about those double Mercuries, so that's not going to do well for it at all. But Whoop Whoop loses its spot thanks to these clouds. And these two Bully Boys ships kind of just shooting off where they think, maybe, possibly, their enemy is. But not quite going to be able to get there. The Whoop Whoop, they must have bumped against something. Oh no, they Phoenix Clawed, turning. That was an interesting turn. Not entirely sure what that was about. I think they may have bumped into something and then Phoenix Clawed afterwards to try to right themselves. Let's see what the Valor and the Regal are doing here. They are sitting in this minefield. Hopefully they don't plan on going forward. But this cloud that's going through right now would give some time for the Codex and Whoop Whoop to get on in there, but it is past now, and the Codex and Whoop Whoop are both spotted with the Valor shooting off that flak, basically so far missing everything. And I mean, this is the hard thing with the flak. If you're gonna miss, you're gonna have a hard time. And I mean, I guess it's kind of true for almost every single heavy gun that you can think of. But the closer they are getting, of course, the more likely they're hit, but more likely you are to be not in arming range, or I guess for them to be within your arming range. And the Codex is just, both of these ships actually just bearing right down onto the spire, going absolutely ham on it. It is going to start running into the edge of the map here fairly soon. There goes one ram, and wow, that was just an absolute brutalizing of a spire. I mean, double Pyramidions, even with the way that they've been sort of nerfed over a couple of last week patches, with the ramming mass being lowered, and with that Gat mortar combo not being as effective. If you still have two of those, or I guess four front chain guns, raining in on a spire, it's still going to do so much. So we've got a 3-3 tie here, and I mean, that was a very quick kill. They couldn't even get any damage, permanent damage, onto either of these ships. Now, the Codex is losing his balloon for some reason. Not entirely sure why that was happening. And the Whoop Whoop, oh no, the Whoop Whoop is all alone because of that. Codex is just bouncing around here, and the Whoop Whoop is in a lot of trouble as those flak shots coming in. Is he gonna hit? Yes, he is. Flak shots doing work once that armor is down, and I'm not entirely sure what happened to Codex here. I think he may have gotten bounced around into this terrain or something, but he lost a lot of his balloon and couldn't follow in with the Whoop Whoop, and that left Whoop Whoop by itself. And I think, yeah, the Codex is having some edge of the map difficulties as it is not able to go around this way. I think that wind is pushing him back, so he's trying to back on out of here, but this is going to leave him in this 2v1 situation, which you just do not want to get into. We'll see if the Whoop Whoop comes forth and tries to rescue his teammate. But that might not end up being the smartest thing, as those flak shots come raining in, and there goes a victory for the Bully Boys. So we will be going to a game number 3. And so stay tuned, and we'll be back with that in just a few. Alright, and we are back with game number 3 in this Sunday Rumble number 13. This is the Art of War versus the Bully Boys. And the winner of this will go on to the semifinals. Let's check out the ships on the Whoop Whoop. We've got, once again, that Hades mortar front with double Merc side on the Lexicon. So going back to Lexicon, this time we've got Lumberjack flak one side, double Carronade on the other, with field gun side and Carronade back. On the Regal Skepet, we've got, once again, double Mercs on one side, Gat mortar on the other, with that mine launcher on the front. On the Valor Morgulis, we've got heavy flak front with another Merc facing forward and double mine launcher once more. So we might get into a little bit of a longer range match here. Of course, Dunes lends itself to that sort of play very well. It's very wide open. One of the reasons why I don't personally like it very much, but it can have some very exciting matches as well. So hopefully this will be one of those times. A lot of matches actually start out with the two teams sort of feeling each other out, taking some pot shots, and then after a little, I guess you can say, lull in action, it generally picks up and you get some quick kills. And well, we'll see if that's the way that this game shakes out as well. So far, both teams are. Well, I don't think there's been a spot down. I may be wrong, but I mean, look, they know exactly where everyone else is. So yeah, we're gonna have some long range shooting going on here with the Flak Lumberjack coming in from the Lexicon. Double Mercury's coming in from the Whoop Whoop. The Valor Morgulus losing most of its armor and very quickly. Lexicon taking some shots back. I mean, basically, these are the same guns shooting at each other because it's 2 Mercuries from the Morgulus, 2 Mercuries from the Whoop Whoop, a Flak from the Regal, and a Flak from the Lexicon. The only difference is that the Lexicon also has a Lumberjack in fire off. Let's see, what are they firing currently? Looks like they're just using the Flak Boldhams, getting on that Lumberjack now as well. So we'll see if they can start hitting some balloons with it. Of course, these long range shots can be quite difficult to land. Mercury's not as much, but as you can see with those longer shots, and they're actually out of range at this point, it looks like. Those flak shots are exploding before they're getting yep, there you go. Those flak shots are, is that Lumberjack shot? It actually sounds like Lumberjack shots that are exploding before they get to their intended target. And still, it's exploding. They're just a bit too far out of range currently to actually hit. Now those Mercuries going a little bit further. They are able to take down a little bit of that armor at times, or maybe some components. That's oftentimes what you aim for with those Mercuries, to take out guns, take out engines, take out whatever you can, really. You want to hit the vital components as much as you can, but generally you just want to not miss. It's okay if you only hit the hull, just something to keep the other team occupied, keep them busy, keep them thinking. Don't let them get settled in. Keep on having the captains having to talk to each other. Where do we want to move? They're still hitting me. How are we gonna get in there, be able to fire back, that sort of stuff. All right, so the Valor and the Regal are going to be moving sort of towards this debris here. They're still a little bit too far out in the open for what they probably want, although it looks like they're okay with that as they're turning now to where they think the Art of War is, and basically where the Art of War really is. However, with no spots, they can't really shoot off anything. Now let's see if the Whoop Whoop, can this get spotted? No, as that they're Valor and the Regal Skepet are basically just behind that sandstorm, and neither team is going to be really able to spot each other. Maybe I would have liked to seen a flare coming from the Art of War, or either team really, to be able to fire through these clouds. When you're going in this long-range battle, being able to spot through clouds is so absolutely vital. I mean, of course, you yourself can get spotted with it if you're it's in a area where you're flared, but if you're confident that your shooting is better, it can definitely turn a tide of a battle. All right, so Morgulus firing off these long ranges at the Lexicon, who was spotted. I think both of these teams are going to lose spots fairly fast here. There you go. So Lexicon are losing it, but still getting hit. As once you know where a galleon's going, it's not going to be able to change directions quite fast. But the Whoop Whoop is actually getting in here quite high speeds. We'll see if this ends up working out, as they don't have quite as much killing power as when the Codex was in here with that double carronade, but they are getting quite a lot of shots off. Mine does hit them on the top, doesn't do all that much, and they are just continuing their approach of the Valor Margolis. The problem is they might be overshooting just a little bit too much. If the Valor just basically stops right now and turns, they're going to be in great shape. The Regal Skepet, however, has fallen way back. Whoop Whoop trying to raise here to meet the Valor, and at this range, that heavy flak is basically going to do absolutely nothing from the Valor, so it's got to depend on its teammate to take the initiative, try to get the Whoop Whoop off him, get a little bit of the Valor some time to live, but no, it's not going to happen as mortar shots come raining in from the Whoop Whoop, and now the Regal Skepet is out here all by itself. Let's see if it can work any mind magic here as those Hades shots come flying in, missing absolutely every single one of them. Oh, there we go. There was one shot that hit there. I mean, it's what, like 12 shots in a Hades, I believe. Ooh, Valor Margolis got a very good spawn here, and the Whoop Whoop's gonna back up into this debris. Ooh, that's not good for the Valor as it loses a lot of its armor, and those flak shots coming raining in from the, or sorry, it's not good for the Whoop Whoop as those flak shots are coming raining in from the Valor, but I think they're just going to be missing for the most part. The Regal Skepet losing his balloon, and we'll see if he can get that back up before he crashes into ground. Whoop Whoop has lost 2 of his engines. I think those are his 2 turning engines, as this sandstorm is not somewhere where you want to be sitting in as a ship. I mean, it just does so much continual damage. I mean, it's not like a lot at once, but if you're sitting in that sand cloud for a long time, sooner or later your engineers aren't going to be able to keep up. Regal Skepet looks like he's going to escape out of here. And the Whoop Whoop, ooh, dodging a flak shot there as it hits the propeller of this broken down engine. And more of these flak shots coming in, most of them missing, a couple hitting, but so far not too many of them actually connecting. Yep, as we can see, continuing with that trend. It's not the easiest gun to hit with, so you may think I sound, a little bit cynical or I guess too overly critical. It is quite a hard gun to hit with on a consistent basis, especially when you're quite at these long ranges. But when they connect, let me tell you, it does so much damage. As you can see, is it going to be able to come in with those? No, he's not. I mean, if those 2 had connected right there, Whoop Whoop would have been dead right there. Just absolutely hammered. All right, so let's see here. Whoop Whoop trying to survive against these flak shots, doing a fairly decent job at it. In the meantime, the Lexicon is sneaking up behind these ships here, so we've got him in a little bit of a pincer situation, but the problem is that the Whoop Whoop has both of the blue ships' attention focused towards it. Balloon is down, flak shots coming in, just not able to take out the armor. Ooh, is it going to be able to hit? No, oh, that flak shot does not connect. Probably would have been able to kill him off if he had been able to do so. Those mortar shots raining out, hitting absolutely nothing. I mean, you can see how short range it goes to. Let's see, are those Hades shots going to explode anywhere useful? Nope, as the Valor is too far out of the range of that. Regal Skepet coming on in here, trying to harass this Whoop Whoop ship with some more mine placements. And of course, the important part is they're also keeping sight of the Whoop Whoop, so they are going to keep their spots on him. Valor Margolis continuing to shoot those flak shots. And I mean, I feel just like there's just been too many of those not connecting. If you even had half those hitting, the Whoop Whoop, oh, there it goes. That's what I'm talking about right there. If even half those shots that the Valor Margolis starts connecting on a more regular basis, they're just going to be absolutely destroying so many ships here. Heavy flak definitely got a buff, and it's definitely a lot more useful than it used to be. Of course, heavy flaks once absolutely ruled the skies. A couple of shots would just wreck everything. That's when before explosive types got changed. But the Lexicon is taking a beating there, and the flak shot, and I think it was mostly in this case Mercury fire coming from the Regal Skepet. Of course, they did turn around at one part to get that Gat mortar turned on him, and we've got a 2-1 lead for the Bully Boys. All right, so once again, like good generals, lining their troops up on two sides of the field, and waiting for the others to make their move forth. Lexicon and Whoop Whoop obliging as much. They know they need to close this gap a little bit. As you can tell, that flak is the Whoop Whoop is basically in range right now for flak shots. Lexicon maybe a little bit further out, but I am interested to see how these two Art of Warships approach this. That kind of split two-side fire didn't really work very well. Lexicon taking the first bits of damage here, as some of that mortar shots do come on in, or sorry, not mortar shots, what am I saying, heavy flak shots coming on in. Let's see, Whoop Whoop charging forth, firing mortars, which hit absolutely nothing. Hit straight air. Hades shots coming on in, gets a nice barrage of them, but all into the balloon, and that's not going to do what the Hades is really there to do. It is there to do piercing damage, and is he going to hit that mine? No, he is not, and he's just charging forward onto that spire. He's going to be able to get the ram off, just not quite there. The Regal Skepet trying to help his teammate with some mine shots coming out, but in the meantime the Lexicon has been able to get in here as well. The Whoop Whoop still laying fire down onto the Valor Margolis, but it's only mortar fire. There's no armor being stripped whatsoever, and that's not going to do very well, and the mine goes off on the top of the Whoop Whoop. Yeah, it set some stuff on fire, but not really as catastrophic mine hits as we have seen before. Some of those Hades finally connecting with the Valor, doing a little bit of damage there, but those mortar shots are just, I mean, as you can tell, they're just, it's not in range. That's what I'm trying to say here. Lexicon's fire not really connecting with anything. I think they were going after Regal Skepet here, but just misfiring as well, and it's been a constant theme so far, I guess you can say, in this match. In this match, at least, those heavy gunfires just not connecting the way you want. But the Whoop Whoop hit another mine here, and now he is going to be in quite a lot of trouble. Is a flak shot's going to be able to connect? No, they're not. And the Regal Skepet can't really do a whole lot about it either. The balloon is still down, but the armor is back up. So those flak shots, even if they were to hit, and weren't going to be doing absolutely killing blows quite yet. Now let's see the Lexicon. Are they trying to help with the Regal Skepet, or are they trying to zone the Valor out here? Maybe use that double carronade side. I think that is what they are going for. That flak shot hitting the Lexicon. Still not within that arming range, so those shots are going to be doing a decent amount of damage. In the meantime, the Whoop Whoop and the Regal Skepet over here still going at it, as Whoop Whoop taking the worst of this. Mortar shots coming on in, but the Whoop Whoop is actually out of range of mortar fire there. Gets away from that deathly blow of the mortars just barely. Now the Lexicon getting his armor taken down. Any flak shots coming in? Probably not quite yet. Yep, does get his armor back up, so not going to take any sort of catastrophic damage. Valor backing on up, knowing that he can't do the close range game with that galleon with its double carronade side. Now the Whoop Whoop has just completely forgot about the Regal Skepet. They are going to go right after Valor Margolis. They're going to try to go after the squishy target time after time, and why not? It is definitely a weaker ship than the Junker, but you've got to be real careful about how you're approaching this. As you can tell, that heavy gun is still doing so much damage. The Valor Margolis is going to be able to survive this. Oh my god, a huge mine hit. Goes off a nice flak shot coming on in, and that is how you kite a Pyramidion, folks. You get them low, you stick a couple of mines in their face, and you finish that off with that heavy flak, heavy gun. Fantastic job by the Valor there, and so far, good job by the Bully Boys overall, not letting the Art of War completely play their game of kill the Spire. On the Regal Skepet, slams into the side of the gun on this wreckage, and that's not going to do very well for them. But the Lexicon is stuck. The Lexicon got stuck here, and he takes so much damage, so much unnecessary damage, bumped into the ground. And you'd think he is going to be able to get himself unstuck, but oh no, flak shots come raining on in. Barely gets his haul back up. Is he going to be able to survive this? I don't think so. There it goes, one more flak shot, and now the Valor is connecting, and now the Art of War ships are absolutely getting destroyed here, as it is a 4-1 lead for the Bully Boys. And ooh, these two ships are quite far apart, and the Regal Skepet and the Morgullis has already seen the Lexicon. That is a terrible spawn for the Art of War, way out in the open, but we'll see if they manage to capitalize on this or not. I think Lexicon should probably be able to get away. Flak shots coming on in. Now those Merc shots are definitely hitting, and if those flak shots could hit right now, nope, and nope. And that's going to give the Lexicon a little bit of breath of fresh air as they do get into a cloud. Now they are still spotted? No, but they are seen, I think. You can just kind of see the outline right there. So they are not out of, visible range, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. And then the Whoop Whoop has, I guess he took the long scenic way while he was waiting for the Lexicon to get back up here. And Lexicon is more or less, no, I guess he's still spotted here. They can still see him. They still know the general direction that he's going in. And as I said before, galleons aren't going to be able to, really stop on a dime or turn too fast, or, I guess unless you're taking hydrogen and shoot vent, you aren't going to be able to turn or go up and down very fast either. So, if you keep on shooting where you think the galleon was going, there's a good chance you'll get there. Now, the Whoop Whoop is going to turn and try to get the Valor down here, but the Lexicon has taken so much damage. All of its guns but one are out. I think that's probably the backup, but the Valor goes down to the Whoop Whoop. Was not expecting that flank by the Whoop Whoop, and great job by the Whoop Whoop and Lexicon. Let's see if the Lexicon manages to stay alive. Regal Skepet taking a little bit of a bump there, but the Valor gets a great spawn if he wants to get back into this fight quickly. The Regal Skepet losing his balloon, but that's really all so far. Nothing too much has been taken out, and he's going to try to get around the Whoop Whoop. The Whoop Whoop doing a good job of sitting on top of him, not letting him go under this Pyramidion and having him run away. Now, heavy flash shots coming in from the Valor, not really hitting anything right there, and Regal Skepet shrugging most of this mortar fire off into their balloon, but they are really close to the ground here, so they do have to be careful, and gets that balloon back up, but they're going to take a bit of bump there, and that loses their hull, loses their balloon, and the Whoop Whoop swoops in for the kill. So folks, this isn't quite over yet. It is a 4-3 lead now, and this game can still go either way. I mean, this is why, if you're playing Guns of Icarus, or if you're watching Guns of Icarus, you do not give up until the very last kill. You cannot just pack it in and say, oh, well, we're down 4-1, we're gonna lose this, because quick kills like this happen all the time. I've seen entirely way too many comebacks from 4-0, 4-1 down to ever be comfortable at calling a match. I mean, it looked really strong for the BFS Bully Boys team there. It looked really good for them. They had the Lexicon quite at low health, but then the Whoop Whoop just swooped right on it. Just the Whoop Whoop swooped right on in from, sorry, I'm laughing at my own terrible joke, but they swooped right on in the back, took out the Valor, and the Lexicon and the Whoop Whoop managed to finish off the Regal Skepet as well. Now, let's see, the Valor does get spotted here, so is the Lexicon. We'll see who the Bully Boy team decides to try to take out first. Lexicon, they have to know that it has taken some amount of damage, while the Whoop Whoop really hasn't. So we'll see if they make the Galleon their target, or if they're just going to continue going on after the Pyramidion here. So far, it's mostly just wild shots going off on one team or another now. Is that lumberjack actually being fired at all? It doesn't feel like it is. But it's not the gun that they're focusing on. And I don't know, maybe that's a mistake. I mean, lumberjacks do great against spires. It has a huge balloon to get those shots off onto and does so much damage. But it looks like they're really more focused on using that heavy flak instead. But I guess part of the problem is that he's only got charged rounds for that lumberjack, which really isn't going to do a whole lot. For lumberjacks, you want, Lesmok and heatsink and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I guess they're just not really focusing on the lumberjack. It's an interesting choice by the Art of War here. All right, so two teams getting closer and closer to each other. I think this is some of the closest fire that we've had going on so far. Ooh, huge! Oh, all the. I'm not sure if that was an intended detonation. Yeah, okay, so they're just laying down another minefield here. So it's always funny to see an entire set of mines get taken down there. Of course, I believe you shoot out 4, and then when you shoot the 5th, all the previous ones explode, or maybe you shoot out 5, and if you shoot the 6th, all of the mines in play from that gun are explode. It's kind of like a remote detonation type of tool. I haven't really seen it being used. I'm not sure if you can really use it in that general sense. I'm trying to think if you explode a mine while somebody doesn't run into it, will it still do damage to them if they're close enough, of course. Like, if you got a ship going close to a mine, but making sure to avoid it, if you manually detonate it, I'd be interested in seeing if the AoE radius would actually hit it. I'm not sure yet. That's something I might want to test out at some point. Alright, so we are getting these two teams spots on each other once more, using this long range from both of them. Mercury shots getting thrown out there. Lexicon not really getting hit at all. Valor. A few of those Merc shots are now hitting, taking out a few of those guns. In this case, it took out the flat cannon, which, as I said before, they are definitely seeming to favor. But they'll get that rebuilt, and at this long distances, a lot of those Merc shots are going to be a little bit harder to aim precisely, but they are doing a pretty good job of taking out those heavy guns, as both the Lumberjack and the Heavy Flak did go down now. They've got to be careful here, so the Whoop Whoop is actually getting spotted here, and it is in his 2v1 situation, and this might be the break that the Bully Boys needed. They are trying to gun on in for the Valor Morgullis once more, and that does get that mine hit off. Didn't do catastrophic damage, but oh no, those shots come raining on in, and there we go, and that is a victory for the Bully Boys. I think that might be the first victory that the Bully Boys have had in a Sunday Rumble, and we are once again with a 5-3 score, so the Bully Boys will go on to the semifinals here. I'm not entirely sure who they will face, but congratulations to them and their victory over the Art of War. And, well, stay tuned, guys. You'll be able to see those semifinal matches soon.